Hello, this is a short video about the costs of dental implants. Now, in one way, that question, how much do dental implants cost? That's like how much does a car cost? You can get a cheap one and you can get a very expensive one. But I've had dental implants, and what happened was I went to see my local dentist. I'd got an accident about 20 years ago. I lost my front teeth, so they put a dental bridge in, which means I didn't need to wear dentures. And that lasted, as I say, about 20 years. And then recently I had another accident, which meant the bridge became loose. So I went back to see my dentist friend, and he recommended me on to see a specialist down south, and he was one of the best dental surgeons in Britain. And he had a look, and he said, it's not too complicated of a job, but it's going to cost me about £7,500, which is about, I don't know, $10,000. But that was for a specific job. So that might sound like a lot of money, or it might not. It depends. What you're going to have to do is go along to see a dentist. I paid £200 for a consultation for him to have a look in my mouth and tell me. Now I presume that's the same situation in the States or in Australia, where you go along and you see a specialist and you pay them, and then they will tell you what your options are. And for me that was worth it. And I paid £200 odd for that. Now for my £200 odd I got x-rays. I also got a scan, an MRI scan, and it scanned my jaw, and the dental surgeon saw that my bones, where the teeth were 20 years ago, where they were knocked out, that bone had receded, so that he would have to give me a bone graft. So obviously that affects the price. So I went along. Well, here's his original treatment plan estimate from the initial consultation, an appointment 2, where he took impressions for a surgical stent, appointment 3, implant surgery. Now then, this is what I want to talk to you about. This is stuff that your dental surgeon won't tell you. What's the true cost of dental implants? Now obviously you've got to weigh up. You can go around and find the cheapest price, but very often, like buying a car, if you buy the cheapest car you're going to have problems. You may do, you may not. If you go to the cheapest dentist, you may have problems. Go to somebody who's recommended and they can give you testimonials. That's what I did. The guy I saw, it was a bit expensive, but from what I can see, he hardly ever did it wrong. I just wanted the job done right. So I'm going to tell you about this job that I had done. So what they did, the bridge was damaged, so he took the bridge out. Now then, so I've had a bridge in for 20 years, but the roots were damaged, so they took the roots out under just local anaesthetic, no sedation. Took the roots out, and he cut from there all the way across the top, and he inserted a piece of bone or bone material into the jaw. He then put a metallic insert in there, a dental implant on the left hand side there, and he put a dental implant on the right hand side there. He then stitched it all back up, nearly 20 stitches, and he gave me this denture and put it back in. Now bearing in mind, I just had an operation that lasted 2.5 hours, and he put the denture back in. Now by the time I got home, the local anaesthetic had started to wear off, and I was in agony. Now what he did do, so he gave me to take home with me. First of all, prior to the operation I had to take 3 grams of antibiotics, he said, to prevent infection. I thought fair enough. Then for 7 days after the operation I had to take 500 milligrams of amoxicillin 3 times a day, and I had to take 400 grams of metronidazole 3 times a day. He insisted, the dental surgeon insisted that I take it to avoid infection. Now I've got to bow to his responsibility. This guy's done it thousands of times, and he's done it right thousands of times. Now, whilst we're having the operation, he said to me, you know, talked about work. He said, "What are you doing next week?" I said, "I was thinking of going on holiday." And he looked at me as if to say, "You are joking." And I now know why. By the time I got home, my face had started to swell up. You can see a picture here. Okay. Within a couple of days, my whole face was like a balloon. Now, I rang up the dentist and said, "Don't worry, that's quite normal. Your body's in shock, it'll settle down, takes a few days. Just lie down for a few days, continue to take the antibiotics." I lay in bed for a week. Not only that, my gums were so sore, it was like raw liver. There was 20 stitches along there, I couldn't touch it. It was so tender, the inflammation was so painful. I was trying to pour soup down the back of my teeth. I couldn't eat bread, I couldn't eat potatoes, I couldn't eat all the normal things that you and I would like to eat. I couldn't eat them. And I wasn't prepared for that. I just wasn't prepared. And in one way, that suffering is a part of the price that you need to be aware of. Now, I literally starved and was in agony for 7 days. Now, I went back to the dentist. I'm going to show you this. I went back to the dentist and they recommended ibuprofen that didn't work. Then I said, "Look, I'm going nuts with the pain and the inflammation and the discomfort," so he gave me tramadol. They didn't work either. He recommended specialist mouthwashes, dental mouthwashes. That didn't touch the pain at all. He recommended another type of dental mouthwash. He then said, "Oh, well, try this gel," which I had to buy and pay for. That didn't work. Now, you need to think about this as well. If you're having a dental implant, that means your gums need to recover. So they'll put the dental implants in, they'll stitch it all up, and your gums have got to recover for about 3 months before they screw the teeth in. So your gums have got to become hard, and they've got to become, well, they will naturally shrink and become healthy again. Now, if your gums remain painful, you're screwed. You can't eat, you can't talk properly, but another thing you've not thought of, you won't be able to wear your dentures properly if your gums are extremely sore or inflamed. My gums were extremely sore. I couldn't wear my dentures, which meant I couldn't go to work because I was embarrassed. I couldn't go out the house, I was in pain. They give you this stuff here for gluing dentures into your mouth. You can't glue dentures onto gums which are stitched up, inflamed and raw and bleeding, and when you suck on your gums you can taste the blood and the pus coming out. The antibiotics didn't do the job. Now, my gums now are rock hard, and I'll tell you how I did it. Look, solid. I've got a solid dental implant in there, and I've got a solid dental implant in there. Within a month or two, I'm going to have my implant screwed in, and that's the end of it. But I'm going to share something with you now, that if you're prepared beforehand, you do not have to suffer like I did. I tried the antibiotics, I tried the painkillers, I've tried everything. In fact, I'll show you something else that I've tried. My gums were so sore. I went back to the original dentist, my friend, and I said, "Look, I can't eat properly, I can't drink properly, I can't work, I can't meet people, I'm bloody depressed. The pain's really getting to me." He made me one of these. It's like a plastic gum shield, but with teeth in the front for the gap. Now, if you look at that, from a distance, it looks alright, it looks like teeth. But the thing is with this, it's not pressing on my gums, which was a vast improvement. But I still can't eat properly with this in. But it cost me a few £100 and it got me a little bit of relief. But it did, the gums were very slow to heal. So this is what I did. I work as a therapist. I've been teaching and treating people with natural remedies for over 20 years. 22 years ago, I came up with this blend of natural plant extracts, and it's called Gum Doctor. Now, bearing in mind, I'd had 3 lots of antibiotics, because the surgeon said, unless you take these, you might get an infection and you can die from infection. Now, I'm not stupid. I didn't want to die, so I took the antibiotics. Now, they may have contributed positively, but they certainly, my gums were killing me and they were still inflamed. And this is what I did. I thought, I'll just try it. Can you see that? Just a brown liquid. When I first put this on, when I first put the Gum Doctor on, my gums were so sore I could hardly touch it. And then, it seemed almost instant, but I'll not exaggerate, maybe 2 or 3 minutes later I thought, what's that? And it was as if it was behaving like a local anaesthetic, but it wasn't. But the pain began to ease. So I took some more of the Gum Doctor out and put it on. And at night time, that night, I put it on again. And the following morning, I was able to have a breakfast for the first time since before the operation. And now, within a week, I can eat whatever I want. The gums have healed completely. Within 2 days, the inflammation and the pain in my gums have gone. I'm just waiting now to have the implants screwed in. Now, the dentist who made me that is now giving that to his clients. He's giving it to them. I'm recommending, if you're looking at the cost of implants now, by all means shop around. Bear in mind, you need to see somebody who's got a successful track record. I know several dentists and they're going on courses every weekend learning how to do implants. And then they're going to practice on the general public till they get good at it. What I'm saying to you is find somebody who is already good at it. The guy who did this was already good. What I'm suggesting is, even the good guy who I used, he said, look, it's normal for the gums to feel extremely tender, inflamed and painful, and to be slightly infected. And I'm saying you can get rid of that infection with Gum Doctor. Before you get your implants, get the Gum Doctor ready. You've seen the size of it, it's tiny, just keep it in your pocket. You are going to feel crap, at least I did when I had these implants put in. But after a couple of days, and discuss this with your dentist. I don't want to get involved with the relationship between you and your dental surgeon or you and your dentist. Just show them that when you get the Gum Doctor, there's a list of ingredients, they're organic, natural plant extracts. You just dab a few drops on 3-4 times a day, and that is it. So I hope I've helped you when you're thinking about your price, the real price of dental implants. It's not just the money up front. It's not just the money you're paying the dentist. It's the time off work, it's the suffering involved, it's the driving backwards and forwards trying to get it sorted. That's the real price of it. And hopefully my implants will work out, and I hope yours do too. Alright, thanks very much. If you want the Gum Doctor, and I strongly recommend you do, click on the link below the video and I'll get it sent off to you straight away. Bye for now.